In this video, we'll explore the fascinating story told by Neville Goddard of a man who learned the power of the law and transformed his life from being a hungry, impoverished Jewish boy in Odessa, Russia, to a successful businessman who never once had to take anyone to court for an unpaid bill. His story is a testament to the power of faith and belief in the assumption that what we imagine to be true can become our reality. Join us as we delve into the life and teachings of this remarkable man and learn how we too can apply the law to manifest our dreams into reality. Here is a simple story. A boy born in poverty, born in Odessa, Russia, in a Jewish family who knew nothing of a full meal. At the tender age of 8, he was the oldest of a family of pride. There's a very tender age, his mother died, leaving just a few babies. And then he was maybe I was 18. He had to work to support the family. His father was a worker but could not bring any now to feed the family. And so when he died at the age of 77 on Good Friday, this past Good Friday, he could leave an estate that runs in 2 millions. He learned the law. He never knew what it was to have a new pair of shoes, a new pair of pants, a new shirt, a new head. Everything was given by charity, and these gifts were not new things. They were simply handed down to him, what people have passed on. And so when he wore out the burlap hue, then he would go back and get another pair of things to wrap his foot in. Cold Russia got a job going to the bank every day with large denominations in paper, and they would be exchanged for silver and copper. And so when he came back, he had the equal amount of money, this time in silver and copper. And one day, standing before the teller, a cashier, he noticed that the copper and the silver had a similar external marking. They looked alike, and he wondered to himself, wouldn't it be wonderful if he made a mistake? Wouldn't it be wonderful if that cashier made a mistake and gave me silver instead of Tahoe? At that moment, he assumed that the cashier did, and in his mind's eye, he took the things and then walked back to the store. He knew the cashier had not done it, but he simply wiped it out and played a little game. Hari walked back feeling that the cashier had made the mistake, and he wanted, what could I do? I will go into a wrestle and eat for the first time in my life, where I feel satisfied. I will eat until it comes through my ears. Then I'll buy a pair of shoes, and then I'll buy a pair of slacks. He knew that it would cover that much. When he got back to the store, the man hadn't made a mistake, but he had the joy of walking in that assumption. The next day, the man made that mistake, and he realized the minute the man made the mistake. So he went to another bank and changed the money into the right amount that he could take back the right amount to the store, leaving him this money over. And with that extra money, he said, I wrestled all day, or rather all day, with myself. On that night, I went to bed. I could hardly sleep. I wrestled and wrestled with myself because that was in conflict with what my dead mother had taught me. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not covet. Yet the next day, my hunger and my desire to have a new pair of shoes and a new pair of pants overpowered what I heard from my mother, and I ate until it came through not my ears, but until I was stuffed. Then I bought myself a pair of slacks, and I bought myself a pair of shoes. Well, who did it? If I'm not coming to the world, I would never have known things. If the Lord did not say you shall not covet, I would not know what it is to covet. And yet he who is guiding me consigns me to disobedience. But we are told Christ reflects the glory of God and is the express image of this person. Well, who is forming the master? The word translated master means the supreme authority, the controller, God the Lord. That's what it means. So when they use the word master, you look it up and see it means the supreme authority, the Lord God, the controller. So the controller is in control of every light in the world, and you are consigned to disobedience, that he may have mercy upon you. So you'll find yourself, as he did, hungry and embarrassed because of the rags that he wore, and he learned that law was spiritual. So he rose from that state as a little impoverished Jewish boy in Odessa in Russia. And after the revolution, he found himself among the soldiers who left Russia and made their way into France. And so when he died at the age of 77, on Good Friday, this past Good Friday, he could leave an estate that runs into millions. He learned the law. He learned that the law is spiritual. And as he told me himself, he never took a man to court for an unpaid bill. He would sit at his desk, and all the employees left, and he would write out a letter thanking them for their check. He never mailed it, but he would get himself into that mood and thank them for the check that they had sent. And he said within a matter of days, never in excess of a week, but quite often within 2-3 days, a check came. A check came to him in payment of an unpaid bill that was long overdue. So he said, I never once had to lose a friend, or I cannot remain in business and lose customers. And so I never had done a customer. I learned the law. I learned that these assumptions, though denied by my senses, If I really believed them and put all my faith in the assumption, it would become a reality. And so I lived by it long before I met you, Neville, long before I ever heard of it. I heard of you only through my wife. She heard of you and heard the law, and we sort of struck it all together when we met in Paris. But long before I met her or met you, I proved this law when I was a poor little boy in Russia, and I began to live by it. And so I had never once recommended to court to get back monies that I had advanced in the form of merchandise. Never. In this inspiring story, we learn about the power of faith and the law of assumption. Through the experiences of a successful businessman who rose from humble beginnings, we see how he learned to live by the assumption that his desires were already fulfilled. By putting his faith in this assumption, he was able to manifest abundance and success in his life. This story serves as a reminder that we have the power to shape our reality through our thoughts and beliefs. May it inspire you to live by the assumption of your own fulfilled desires, and may you manifest the life of your dreams. Thank you for watching.